As always, you want to get interactive with us, please make sure you log on to our page on Facebook. And right now we're streaming on My Joy Online, our official channel on YouTube. And then we have a couple of your messages here. We have attacks here and there. What is Ghana's status? Are we safe? God help our homeland Ghana. And that's from Daniel Otanko, giving us this very message from Pando. And from Salt Pond, we have Ati. Good morning, Mamavi and Roland. So this terror attack happened in Burkina and now has descended to the coast of Ivory Coast, Ghana. We should be careful on Easter Monday at our beaches, so don't go to any beach. But I hope that our authorities are also taking the cue from it and doing what they have to do. May the soul of our dear Bobo Kala rest in peace. This is the right time the Lord has for him. Everything is in the hands of God. Ima from Tema, how much was used to print the Independence Day brochure ahead? They spent 450,000 Ghana cedis for 1,000 persons. Do you have any info on this? I don't. Ima?
We're told there's a committee that's been set up to look into.
I'm
sure they would.
On news file,
yes.
The Deputy Finance Minister said. From Dr. Ben, there has been some rains or rainy showers during the early hours of today from Bessie, Bulsa, South District of the Upper East region. First of this kind around March shows that the weather is changing. Mama V, I'm sad this morning. This Bank of Ghana governor denies the girl being his daughter. If this lady had won an international award, would the man had denied her being his daughter?
Oh, was it a denial?
Yes.
Was it?
We are in Ghana. Sure.
These
same people are managing us. God have mercy, and that from Nana Kumasi. I didn't like it. I thought it was in
okay. So I'm gonna pull out the
and
full
this one
statements.
also from Aluta in Garu says Ghanaians are waiting for the true Independence Day parade march from the MPP because everything of theirs is the true state. Okay, I think that was funny though. Mama V and Roland, we do witness or hear the passing away of good, bad, and religious men. This means that nobody is bound to live on this earth forever. Yet the corrupt politicians are accumulating wealth through fraudulent means, which of course cannot save them from death. Bambakia Samed, today was not on marriage.
Yeah.
From Bessie, Bambakia. I do agree with you that you have a sentiment on this, so we'll see how that goes. Simon from Ho said, good morning, Mama V and Roland. I want to know what has come of all the prediction of delayed rains and therefore farming. Who has recorded 5 rains in a matter of 14 days? Good for you. Tell your people to be farming then. And then this one also from, okay, you're giving us a picture. That's from Abdul Rahman. Oh, please, don't send us horrid pictures. I think that is a bit unbecoming. Don't send us horrid pictures. Because your pictures need to be graphically right for the screens. Good morning, Mama V. I want to know how far our union leaders have gone concerning our arrears, and that's from Frank from UAD Piasi.
He's always following up.
Yes.
Yeah, but your leaders are not talking yet.
Well, so that will be it. But Mama V.
Yeah, I said I was trying to pull up the statements so that I would read.
Okay, that's
maybe
from
for
the Bank of Ghana governor.
Exactly. So that for persons who have heard that, okay, he said the lady is their stepdaughter, but they don't know in what context he said that, can also make up their minds. Oh, okay, I don't have the full one yet.
Okay.
So we can take this next issue and then I'll retrieve the full statement.
And it's on the Electoral Commission, ma.
Yeah. So the Electoral Commission on Saturday undertook a pilot registration of its upgraded biometric registration kits at some selected polling stations across the country. Although prospective voters and political parties were asked to participate fully in the exercise, reports suggest turnout was far lower than expected. In the Greater Accra region, the situation was no different. Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wagon constituency Emmanuel Jako criticized the Electoral Commission for failing to provide the needed logistics to ensure a successful pilot of the exercise.
I think that the process is a little slow. It takes how the data is inputted doesn't seem to have improved. I think it is slow. And there was no form for a guarantor. I don't know whether when the elections or when the real registration comes, the form will be there. But I find it difficult that that is why it is called a pilot. You are testing something. If you are piloting something, my expectation was that the full complement of whatever is needed when the real thing comes up must be here. I am a little hesitant to say this. I think that all of this is a clear indication that probably the commission is not ready. I don't blame them. I will not put all the blame on them too. You didn't need to bring 50 forms. So let us assume that in a day, 100 people must come into the center to register. Is this what is going to happen when the registration period comes up? You see, the pilot is just a test simulation of what must happen on the real day. Why is it that all the necessary ingredients that we need for the real day are not here? I will agree that you do a test to check on the robustness of your system, but if the necessary ingredients is not there, I mean, you must have a guarantor's form as a necessary ingredient. It is a necessary part of the process. So if it is not there, it's disconcerting.
They've also indicated here that one of the things that they are going to do is that, for instance, if they realize that the battery lifespan in terms of the use of the machine is 3 hours, they will announce to the hearing of all political parties and their agents, so that when you are even an agent there and the exercise starts 7 o'clock, by 10 o'clock, all of you have to prompt the registration officer or the presiding officer that the time has come for you to change, so that nobody decides to use that one as a means of creating a problem and disenfranchising other people. The color resolution of the photograph too is much improved than I have my own ID card. When I check my picture and I check this one, it appears that there is much improvement in terms of the resolution and the quality of pictures that are being produced by this very machine.
But if they are using a Shama as a pilot registration center, they may center the polling station around St. Mary or Government School Park, so that the youth who are coming to register for the first time will have that chance to try it. Until we have a large number, you can't test the machine. I do mechanical engineering. I know what I'm talking about. So if you want to test the machine, you have to have a large number of people registering at the same time so that you could test the machine.
If it is being done at a more populous place, actually we would have more people to come and test the machine or to come and register for the machine to be tested. Yeah, you know, this process is just like a chain, so there must be a linkage between the various stakeholders. So I want to, if it is not there, if that kind of connection is not there, I just want to urge them, because 28 is just around the corner and we may need more of these educations to get the people on board.
Well, so that's how it went. We know that if you take a look at what really transpired, you get to know that the consensus was that we needed to have large number of people, okay? Then we can say there's excessive pressure on the machines, and so we'll have the same scenario or measure the same scenario as benchmarks when it comes to the main. Because usually you have large numbers trooping in than the usual, that in terms of the registration. But it's an issue that we have to be very much wary of, because we all know that during the last period, Mamavi, it was not good at all. The machines broke down, there were delays. Initially, the officers weren't even conversant with the way the machines were working, and so the first batch of registrants really were registered a second time. And so the political parties had difficulties with them, or thought people had registered twice and things like that. But those were not the issues in many respects. So the political parties need to work with the Electoral Commission, and the Electoral Commission also needs to work with the political parties to enable them sort out the differences. If there are things that will be relevant on the polling day or be prevalent, then they are very much aware and take those in good faith.
But I thought it was not this particular exercise was not necessarily to test how the equipment would take the pressure. But it was to test the other things that they say they had added onto the equipment.
Well, that is one, but also test the pressure. Because usually the machines broke down on pressure. Once the pressure was high, they broke down.
So
because
if it was to test the pressure,
it's a computerized machine.
Then this exercise is nothing really.
One
because
of them,
then it should have gone on in a lot more places.
One of them is to test the pressure.
Yeah.
One of them, but it's not a priority. It's not one of the top.
Okay, but so are we going to have that as a priority and test the pressure? Because you see, I think one of them said something that, for instance, if everybody knows that after 3 hours the machine would slow down, or we have to change batteries or something, then all the agents there, all the political parties, would then put the pressure on the officers if they have forgotten that they have to change the batteries or change the machine or something like that. But if we're really testing the pressure, then I don't think this is an exercise that would give us the true picture. Because we had it in just some few centers. The number of people in the Volta region, the report was that some people thought it was a real registration exercise. So once they got there and they realized, oh, it's just a pilot, something we are doing. This is not the Volta registration exercise. They just turned away. Because what's the point? Why am I coming to waste my time? I'm sure some of them were thinking. So I don't know if this was to test the pressure, then it didn't work.
And I think that the Electoral Commission also needed to make sure its focal people in the communities needed to organize people to go and do the registration, to get the sort of feeling and the feedback they would need, as they would need to gauge what the situation or scenario would be in the real situation.
Okay,
I mean, that's what I thought.
This is one of the feedback.
Because they just did a public announcement or education exercise and thought people will get the whole idea and then go and register or for a pilot scheme. And I think in many respects, sometimes you have to be able to gauge or be very much conversant with people's attitudes and sentiment, all these things. Because I bet you, because we don't have a national ID, when we have the limited registration opened, a lot more people will go and register. Young people who have just finished school, people who didn't register the last time around. I, for example, my voter card I can't find. I'll need a replacement. And I even need to go and check whether my name is on the register.
Yeah. It's true.
So,
But one of the things that came out of this exercise that perhaps the Electoral Commission has to take note is the fact that people went there and they didn't know their house numbers because they were not familiar with the requirements. So if you were to tell people ahead of time what you would need when you go to the center as part of the education, consistent education, then they would go prepared. So that when you go and they say your house number, you have a piece of paper that if it's not in your head, you already have it, that kind of thing. If you have to go and prove that indeed you're 18 or 19, you have a copy of your birth cert or something, all the things that they would need. And I think that they have to spend a lot on education.
I think what the money we spend on the electoral, compiling the electoral register, we should spend a lot more on the national data collation exercise, like the way national kind of identity program, like the way we have it, so that the Electoral Commission during its registration exercise, it doesn't need to record everything or take everybody's data. You just do a transposition of a national ID data onto a
That is what doesn't exist. We still don't understand why
it should exist.
We will do a national exercise so that the Electoral Commission will do its own. I mean, it's more like the same.
For example, taking a house number, I am thinking in my lay mind, taking a house number from somebody who just wants a voter ID card, it's just asking too much. But
is it?
Yes.
You should know where you live. You should know the street name. I don't know the street name though.
No,
you should have your house number in your head.
The point, ideally, we should. But if otherwise, I was registered under the National Identification System, I just go to the registration center. I mention my name. I give few details. They cross-check, or perhaps they try to get into the data of the national ID system. They just know that I'm there, and so everything is. I mean, that's my mind.
Well,
because
we should have a central.
elsewhere,
We should have a central system where,
yeah,
so that if you came and you mention your name, and they check your picture, will probably be the same. If you give some wrong filler, they will know.
Yes. I think that's what we need. Ultimately, that should be the solution to all these very difficulties and impasse we're having. So that even somebody comes, the person is a foreigner, it shows, because identification system means everybody is registered in the country. Foreigner, no foreigner. Okay? So if you're local or indigenous, it's there. If you're a foreigner, it shows. So nobody will even come and attempt registering twice, because then you do some validation immediately because you have to reconcile the data that you have. I think that's the solution to all that.
We're far from that, though.
We're not. We should not be far, ideally.
Okay, so I promised the statement from the...
You have the full statement?
Yes, I have the full statement, and it's very brief. So this is it. Statement on the arrest of David McDermott. I've received news about the arrest of David McDermott, who is married to my stepdaughter, Ramona, with shock. David has been known to me as a worker in the mining sector and has been living in the country with Ramona since their marriage some 3 years ago. Until I received information about his arrest, I had absolutely no knowledge about David being a fugitive of the British government. Issued by Henry A.K. Wampa, Governor, Bank of Ghana, March 13, 2016. And this is the line that people are interpreting differently. I've received news about the arrest of David McDermott, who is married to my stepdaughter, Ramona, with shock. So the stepdaughter there seemed to be the issue. Should he have said
you don't seem to find any difficulty
or stepdaughter? I'm not sure. I mean, I'm just trying to weigh the two arguments and see if it's a statement of fact, because is it a statement of fact that she's a stepdaughter? Yes, she's a stepdaughter. Should he have put that in the statement? I am not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he should have put it on the statement. But we have to give you a lot more feedback from, well, the ordinary Ghanaian as to how the whole pilot went. But we played a story on kidney, a whole package. And Joel from Cape Coast says, I trust both of you are well. Mama V and Roro were well. I think the Ministry of Health should set up a health fund to cater for some of these extreme health conditions like kidney failure. And God speak. Thank you very much, Joel from Cape Coast. Wapo, man. And then also, we have to go on to this. Amidst these challenges, we want to know whether you think the Electoral Commission should still stick to the no verification, no vote system. And so we've been asking the ordinary Ghanaian.
No, I think with the no verification, no vote, I mean, once you come and you are being identified in the register, your face is captured there. Even the people within the community can confirm that you live there and your name is in the register. Whether machine or no machine, I believe, you're entitled to vote.
Why? Because according to them, the machine is supposed to also further prove that it is you, Ayuba. You are the one on the picture, showing you're using your thumbprint. You don't think that when you take this thing out, something will be missing?
Well, you see, it's a machine, it's a system. At times, it fails. And if you look at, how urgent the election is, to Ghanaians, looking at the time period, we are not voting to say we vote today and we continue tomorrow. At that very moment, once your name is captured in the register, the machine is not being able to verify whether you are the one or not. But your name is there, your ID card, the details, information are in the register. I believe, you should be entitled to vote. It's all about proof. And once the voters register, has proven that you are the one, you have your ID card, all the information about you, your name, your residence, where you live, and even the people around your community can confirm that you are the one. I believe the machine should not prevent you from voting. Although, yes, the machine also plays a major role in it. But at that moment, the machine is a system. System can fail at any time. And once, the system. So just imagine that if we are about 10,000 coming to vote, and the system has a problem, meaning, we shouldn't vote. You see, so you should be allowed to vote in order to avoid any issues. Because once there's delay in voting, there are certainly going to be issues. Because that is when tomorrow. Because once, in Ghana, even before electoral commission even declares results, some media houses and other people, even on social media, you see results dropping. So if the one who is contesting, let's say the sitting president, and the sitting president feels that he's losing, or let's say the opposition can even take an advantage of the sitting president to say, okay, looking at the results that are coming, I'm losing. Once, let's assume third gate, we are supposed to vote and we are not voting because of the machine has a problem. Then, this, brings, the opposition party or the losing party to, bring out all sorts of issues. Yeah, so I believe that once you've been verified, in terms of the voter register and your ID card, is proving that, yes, it is me, Ayuba Mohammed, I should be allowed to vote.
For me, I think there should be a verification before voting, because to calm everything down and not bring in any confusion, because if there should be a verification before voting, every person will with the ID card will see that, yes, this is me, that's this, I know this guy, I know this girl. Okay, so I think if the EC bring the verification, it will be very good and very well of the voting and during the voting, and it will call a good name and a better name for Ghana, so that we can have a peaceful election and a peaceful country.
Well, those who think that we should do away with the verification process say that once you're able to show your ID card and you're able to link the picture on the ID card to your face, you should be allowed to vote.
Okay. You see, the first one that we did, like the person having the ID card, but verifying with the thumb does not come. Okay, but if you see the picture, you see that this is the same person. So if the person is trying all the fingers and it's not coming, I think they will just allow the person to vote, because whilst the EC official or the officials that have seen that the ID card is the person who is having the ID card, they should allow him to vote.
So you think that we should still stick to no verification, no vote?
Oh, I'm not saying no verification, no vote. Because, okay, let's say we should use the verification, right? And all of us, if we verify and we couldn't get it, so meaning nobody is going to vote. Yeah, you see, there should be a vote. Okay, so if you verify all the five fingers, the 10 fingers, and it doesn't appear, and they look through your face and what you are having is you, then you should allow you. But still, there should be a verification.
Verification is okay.
Why?
It's a modern thing, unlike the old-fashioned one where we used to have problems. And this one, although it's giving us some problems, it's expected. Every new thing probably have some mishaps. Definitely, this is one of them.
But what do you say to people who think that because the machine delays us a little bit, once you're able to show your ID card and they link the ID card to your face, you are good to go?
That will also be a problem, because we have people who are identical. So if that happens, what do we do then? It will cause another problem. So no verification, no vote. I think I will support the idea. Everybody knows that before the polls, I have to go and check and make sure that I'm legible. And that happens, you make sure you check. And then on the D-Day, you go and vote. And that is it.
I believe that you should bring the two together. They should verify. If the person, for instance, you live at third gate here, you know people who live within the community. They know if somebody belongs here or doesn't belong, they know. If there's a transfer, they know. So once the person comes, they verify. The person has the ID, and everything shows that that's the person. The person should be allowed to vote. The person should not be denied that vote. You see, all these things lead to those petty things that lead to the conflict. Once the community, for at least third gate, people who here, we are all united, irrespective of the parties. After election, it's over. So we don't have that problem here. I think we can go and do this. It's only the politicians try and divide us. It is their fear. After all, when you do all those things for them, after the election, whatever, that's the end. Like the problem we are facing here now. We don't know who is who. So we beg them, let's allow our institutions to work. If EC knows what is right and they can do it, and the law court will back it and laws are backing it, let them give them the chance to do what is right. Let us not prevent people from voting. Yes, that is my view.
So, in your view, you think that we should go through first of all, we should start with the verification process, yes. But if that fails, then we use the other option where we can link your face and then the person standing there, if you can link your picture to your face, then you should be allowed to vote.
You should be allowed to vote. But the solution to this problem is having a national ID card. If you have national ID card, I don't even think that you need time to be registering every year or every time like this. Once it's time for you to vote, you have the data. You go and present your ID card, they cross-check, you are registered, then you are given the chance to vote. So let us move away from this and get to the point when you have our national ID cards working and you have every data at one place or in one place, then you can avoid all this. And I would like to take this opportunity to plead to our politicians. They should stop using their interests to speak for all of us in this country. It is not helping us. They are dividing us. They have their own fears. After all, when you vote for them, you don't even know what they come and do for us. We want our peace.
Well, so the sentiments being expressed there.
Yeah.
And I think just the last commentator said, if we had a national ID card, we'll have no business going through all these difficulties trying to have details of people's biodata, personal data before we tend to register them. And I think it's one of the things to talk about. If we can have a debate that forthwith after the next election, the agenda should be that by the close of 2020, we have a national ID system.
So what's our problem really?
Taking action.
Wow.
Because if we can spend the money on infrastructure and things like that, that same money we can use to have it. Because that's will resolve all these confusion that we have.
Wow.
It will resolve.
I can't believe we start an
because,
exercise,
for example,
spend so much.
Because, for example, you go to many countries, not even Europe, Africa. You enter, they put you on the system.
Yeah.
So you go to a shop, you go and buy. Once you're using, they ask you where's your car, your passport and things. They look at the scan on you. So they know that you are visiting the country for the third time or first time. You are here for 21 days. So if it's expired, it's expired. Or if you know your entry visa has expired, you will not go and be buying things formally in the community or something like that.
Because then you'll be found out.
Yes.
You know.
You go to the more advanced countries and it's there. You see, they show you your data. Your picture is there. And it's on their platform. And they know when the expiration will be there. So after 21 days, your details will naturally go off.
But I doubt if we're serious about this. We're not serious about a national identification.
I don't know whether if you say we are not prioritizing it.
No, because we're not committed to doing it.
No,
we're
yes, that's we're
There's
not.
no commitment.
I
don't see any commitment at all.
That we're not. That we're not. Yes.
It's a shame, right?
It should be, because I think where we are as a country, we're lower middle income country.
Apparently we're not.
We are. No brochure.
We're low.
No brochure.
Oh, I'm just.
There's one that says we're lower.
I'm just taking the information from the Independence.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. I mean, anything that comes out of the Independence
we're lower income. Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so that's how it is. And many of you have been sending us a lot more of your comments. We say thank you very much also.
Yeah.
But as always, we would want to. Right now, ask you to bring us a lot more of those comments. You want to watch us, please make sure that you also keep streaming on YouTube. We have a channel, The Major Online, and give us a lot more of your comments too on Facebook. We know the rains are on. You have pictures you want to share with us. Please make sure you tag us, send us those rainy day pictures also on WhatsApp. 0560 is 800,000 is the number. Right now we have to take a break, Mama.
Yeah, but let me read this message that came in earlier. It says, Mama V, good morning. This is Okonko in Ho. Please tell Roland that in a hot marathon race, the weak ones always take the lead at the blast of the whistle, but eventually drops in the process. Do you see where this message is going, Roland? That's what nearly relegated Hartlewood and others are doing. Just relax for Kotoko because they're going to win the league.
Yeah,
that's a message Okonko is sending us from Hope.
Let me reply
except that Okonko, your team na ye.
No. Okonko, only I have to tell you, I'm a fan of Chelsea. You know, the first month when we started the league in August, we're 10th now, so please.
Yeah.
I'm not so optimistic. I grab a if you're not pa. I
love you, Roland. Oh my gosh. Kotoko, it will be at the bottom for a while. We'll see if you'll be able to rise, but I doubt if you would. But stay with us. You're watching the AM show. We got a message from Jaminja from Chireponi. I acknowledge your message. Thank you very much. Keep watching the show. Do stay with us.